Greetings. Welcome back to your Great Canadian. This is your Great Canadian Nerd. Here to talk to you today. Anime. I discovered anime earlier than I really knew what it was. I thought it was just a cartoon when I first came across it. First anime I can clearly remember watching was Astro Boy. After that I moved on to Dragon Ball. But my love of anime didn't truly show up until I was watching the telecast of Dragon Ball Z on YTV. I was in high school at the time, and we would race home, my friends and I, drop our bags off, meet over at a buddy's place in time to watch Dragon Ball Z. And for those of us who couldn't show up, every commercial there'd be a phone call. And we'd talk about what we just saw, and then hang up as the episode started back up again. Now, as I've left high school and started getting into young adulthood and going out, and I was working down in the city, I wanted something to read on the bus while I was transiting down to the city, because it was an hour trip each way, and yeah, I could have taken a novel with me, but I wanted something more concise, and I found that's when I got introduced to Manga. Manga is the comic book form of anime. A lot of anime shows tend to either start as anime or they start as manga. And the one thing that's always baffled me is, why is the manga different from the anime? I am aware that when it comes to the animation studio, they are trying to pad out the season, trying to make a certain number of episodes, so they'll introduce filler. Sometimes filler works. However, it's not filler that I have a problem with. What I have a problem with is when the manga takes the story down one path, and the anime says, screw that path, we're going over here. That I absolutely hate. And nowhere is it more prominent than in this series. This is a series, Magister Negi Magi Negima. However you want to say it, I just call it Negima. Alright, this is the story. Here, I'll give you a quick synopsis off the back. 10-year-old prodigy, Negi Springfield, has just graduated from his magic academy. His dreams of becoming a master wizard, Instead, he's sent to Japan to teach English at an all-girls high school. Can you see where this story is ending up going? All the students are delighted with their cute new teacher, except for Asuna, who resents Negi for replacing the teacher she secretly had a crush on. Her. Main character. Okay? Secondary main character, only over top of him, who is the teacher, Negi. Now, this manga, I saw it in the store the other day, and they're currently up to issue 38. And to the best of my knowledge, Asuna is still in it. But when you switch over to the animated version, they kill Asuna off. And if you follow the storyline through the manga and into the anime, by the time you hit edition 10 of the manga, they kill Asuna. Why do you get rid of a main character like this? The story was perfect in the manga, you could have kept it going. No, you decided to change it drastically for the show. Why? It didn't make any sense. It is in fact what stopped me from buying the rest of this series. I saw Asuna die, and turned the disc off, stopped and went, okay, screw this, I'm going back to the manga, because the manga at least didn't get rid of my favorite character. One of my favorite characters. Nodoka is really, really awesome. I love the Nodoka character. Okay, that's Negima out of the way. I mentioned the second anime that I actually came across was Dragon Ball. And I have a huge issue with Akira Toriyama's stuff. The fact that I have apparently a desire to own all of it. I managed to collect all 5 seasons of Dragon Ball. All 9 seasons of Dragon Ball Z, even the 2 seasons of Dragon Ball GT, but that wasn't enough. I wanted more. This is where my nerdness kind of branched into fanboy territory. There's not much to be said about this show because this is a classic of anime. I'm sure everybody knows at least who this character is and the type of adventures that happen in this storyline. What I was so happy to pick up was the manga for Dragon Ball. And I tell you, the manga does a really, really good job of getting across the action and the speed of the combat fights. Trying to find a good page here for you to show. Yeah, don't know how well you can see this. There you go. It's very well drawn. And again, the manga doesn't have the filler that the television series needed to put out. You know how this series ends? You know how Season 5 ends with this? They actually show you Goku's wedding. I don't know why, but there's 6 episodes of filler after the final fight. The final fight ends here. You know what happens? Goku and his fiancée leave, and the story ends. That's it. Just hard cut. Done. It works better that way. It doesn't work when you drag it out into showing us stuff that a lot of us really didn't need to see. I didn't need to see it. I could be on the minority here, but that was filler stuff that I really didn't need to see. I didn't need to see Goku getting confused in town. I didn't need to see Goku trying to get set up for the wedding. Not interested. Now, this next manga that I have here, I don't have the anime to show because I haven't been able to find it yet on DVD. I've been watching a couple episodes of it online. I've actually seen the entire series online. I purchased it through my Xbox 360, and all I can say is Initial D, while the manga takes the storyline further than the show, the races are outstanding to watch in the show. It's actually one of the few mangas where they've kept the storyline almost exact. And if you haven't seen Initial D, I highly recommend going out and watching it. And then you'll start to see why in the Gran Turismo games they offer that ridiculous Sprinter Torino, the AE86, because they know that the nerd culture out there, they want that car. They want the 86, because everybody wants to pretend that they're Takumi Fujiwara and they're ripping down Mount Akita. Okay. This next anime and manga, there's really no way to explain it. Don't judge me. Love Hina. This is what I ended up picking up when I was doing the trips down to the city, just for something to read. And you know what? It's extremely silly. It's a very goofball comedy. It does have a story once you get further on down into it, but the story is... it's ridiculous. There's really no other way to put it. My problem taking from the 14 episodes of the manga, putting it into the television show, is when you get to the television show here, I don't understand why they gave one of the Japanese characters a Texas accent. And it's not that the accent only comes through when she's dubbed into English, you can hear it when it's in Japanese as well. It's strange. I don't see Kitsune having a Texan accent. But, you know, the show's fine, the show's goofy just like the manga. But I prefer the manga. It's something I'd rather read than rather watch. Mainly because all the high-pitched giggling, the squealing, and the screaming that happens in the show. Yes, it happens in the manga, but it's words on a page and it's not causing me to grate my teeth together. Alright. I said that I was a fan of Akira Toriyama, and it shows. Here we go. I talked about it already. Dragon Ball Z. And it's not Dragon Ball Z Kai. I tried to watch that, but I just couldn't get into it. This is the original run. Yes, it's full of filler. Yes, the fights take 6 episodes at times just for people to charge up for one move. I will watch the anime. I love the anime. But if I want to get the just go through and get the story and get the faster paced action, while watching the fights are fantastic, reading the manga is so much better. Give me a second here to find the scene for you. Everybody who's seen this, you remember Gohan when he's fighting Cell. Breaches the power level, goes into Super Saiyan 2. And him and Cell end up having the Kamehameha battle where it's just episodes long of Gohan and Gohan and Cell battling back and forth with the Kamehameha wave, and nothing's happening. There's no progress going on. It took, I swear it took 3 episodes. I could be wrong. It felt like it took an eternity. Here we go. Okay? From starting here. Right? The Kamehameha wave starts here. Let's count the pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pages. In a comic book, they stretched out to 2.5 to 3 episodes in length. Why would you do that? It doesn't make sense. I don't understand why you would do that. And some of the artwork, it's hard to see, I know. It's in black and white. There. That artwork it's stunning to look at. I'm super happy that I picked these up. You can actually see them up there on top of my bookshelf, the 2 collector's boxes. They're and I realize now you can see my collection of Dragon Balls up there as well. Told you, fanboyism. But I remember picking these sets up. They were about $300 a set. And I looked on Amazon the other day, and one of them was up to over $3,000 because 2 of the editions have gone out of print. Oh my god, I am so happy I got these when I did. I love them. I love my collector's set. You couldn't pay me enough money to get rid of my collector's set. Now, yeah, you see there's a lot of stuff there for fanboyism. You can see these. Look, this is the stuff that came in. There we go. Got it focused in place here. This is the stuff that came in those Dragon Balls. Little PVC toys, little PVC statues of the characters. Got stuff from Dragon Ball, stuff from the beginning of Z, end of Z, middle of Z. So happy that I managed to get that set. and had to order them in, but you know what? Now my Dragon Ball Z collection is complete. I've got the series, I've got the manga, I've got some toys for it, and I've got a full set of Dragon Balls. I'm happy. I'll leave my Dragon Ball Z stuff there. Now, this last manga I'm here to talk about, I saw this in my local comic store on sale during Boxing Week, and he had the entire series there, so I picked up the entire series in one shot. It was only 5 episodes long, so, you know, I thought I'd want to see it. And the main thing that caught me is how it's described on the back. Not going into the plot of it, but it was advertised as the manga that sparked the Japanese phenomenon that included the mega hit anime, presented here for the first time in the US. Skryed merges the mayhem of Mad Max and the outsider appeal of the X-Men in a story fraught with deranged villains, supernatural action, and political intrigue. That and the artwork is pretty cool. Now, the manga goes pretty dark and dirty. It can go very dark and dirty. In fact, I can't even show some of the stuff on the inside of this book because they choose not to censor it. And in the manga style, it's not that they don't censor it, it's that they don't draw in the full detail. It's weird. The story is not that bad. There was some type of devastating cataclysm that happened where humans were split off into normal people and people who had an ability called alters. That's why you see this guy with a crazy metallic arm. And there was a group of police designed to stop the alter users, and the story went on from there with political intrigue of making who's leading who's on the side of right. Now, they came out with an anime for it as well. The anime does a good job. Gets the story across quite well. It does pretty good job staying true to the manga until you get to the very end. The end of the anime and the end of the series is just they're two completely different entities. They start the same, they get to the mid-ground about the same, and then they decide one hangs a left, one hangs a right, and they never meet back up again. I recommend definitely reading all of these mangas more than I would recommend watching the actual anime. The manga gives off, in my personal opinion, the manga gives off the story better and conveys the story better. And you know what? It's quicker to get through. If you don't have all the time to sit down and watch a 26-episode series, look at how thick these are. A comic book this big, you could finish this in an hour, maybe an hour and a half if you really wanted to take your time. And yeah, this series is 5 of them. Dragon Ball Z is 26. Dragon Ball is 32. Nagima, okay, Nagima's up to over 38. I only have the first 16. And Love Hina's up to 16 as well. You know? Read the mangas. You're giving your brain more use than just sitting there watching TV. You're actually reading and taking in more of the art than the anime. The anime has great art, great artist talent in it, but the manga, because it's still images, the artist has to do more to get the point across. And in a lot of these mangas, I think they do a better job. So, that's my episode here talking about anime. Is there more anime out there that I own? Yes, there's a lot more anime out there that I own. It might not all be the best anime in the world. For example, a little crazy story called El Hazard. I like the fantastical anime. I like the anime of taking you off into another world. There is one anime that I own and that I absolutely hate. I own it because it was a gift given to me, and for that reason I'm not going to get rid of it. I've watched it once, and I could care less if I ever watched it again. I'm not going to say what it is, because I do not want to spark the fanboy nerd rage coming down on me because I dislike something that a lot of anime fans consider to be the pinnacle of perfect anime. Aside from what I showed here, if you're interested in getting into some anime, if you've never watched anime before, or you want to try it out, my best recommendation to you is check out a film by Studio Ghibli, or Ghibli, whichever way you want to say it. Check out the film Princess Mononoke. It's a 2.5 hour long feature film, and if that will clearly just make up your mind whether you like anime or whether you don't like anime. That film, in my opinion, that film is a masterpiece. It is one of the best pieces that Studio Ghibli has ever put out. And I am very glad. I want it to come out on Blu-ray. God, make this DVD come out on Blu-ray. Please, it would look fantastic. Anyway, I've ranted on long enough. It's your great Canadian nerd finishing up on anime. Take care, folks, and I'll see you later.